Right, Emma. So today we're really diving into what I like to call the stops, pops, and pushes of British English pronunciation. We're talking about plosive consonants.
Oh, plosives. Okay, I remember those from like Linguistics 101, but for our listeners, could you kind of break that down? What exactly are we stopping?
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty straightforward, really. Think of it this way. A plosive, or a stop consonant, is when you completely block the airflow in your mouth, just for a moment, and then you release it with a little burst of air, like a mini explosion, hence plosive, right? So your lips or your tongue are basically creating a barrier.
Right, like a dam, and then the water just rushes out. So are we talking about sounds like p and b?
Exactly. P as in pen, B as in book. Try it. P, 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 and b, b, b. You can feel your lips completely closing, building up that pressure, and then pop, the air comes out. That's the essence of it, really. It's crucial for clear articulation, especially for ESL learners.
So it's not just like making the sound, but how you stop and release that airflow. Fascinating.
Precisely, and here's where it gets really interesting, especially for British English. We've got pairs of plosives, one's voiceless, one's voiced. So you've got p and b, right? With p, pen, your vocal cords aren't vibrating, it's just air. But with b, book, you feel that vibration. Try putting your hand on your throat, p, p, p.
Oh, yeah, I can totally feel that. Nothing for p, but then a distinct rumble for b. So it's about whether your vocal cords are, like, active or not.
Spot on, Emma. And this applies to other pairs too, like t and d, and k and g. T as in T, voiceless, d as in dog, voiced. Your tongue position for both is pretty similar, just behind your teeth, but the voicing is the key difference. Same with k as in cat and g as in go. The back of your tongue touches the soft palate for both, but again, one's silent, the other, well, it buzzes.
Okay, so the tongue position is like almost identical, but the vocal cords make all the difference. That's super subtle, but really important for sounding natural, isn't it? Especially for, distinguishing words that might otherwise sound similar.
Absolutely, it's vital. A slight miss on that voicing can actually change the meaning of a word, or just make you sound a bit unclear, which we want to avoid for sure.
So, thinking about ESL learners, what are some of the common pitfalls or like things they should really focus on to nail these plosives in a British accent?
That's a fantastic question. The biggest thing I find is often the release. In some languages, the release of plosives can be much softer or even omitted at the end of words. For British English, especially with voiceless plosives like p, t, k, at the start of stressed syllables, there's often a bit of an aspirated puff of air, like p, paper, t, table. You can feel that air. It's not a strong h, but it's there. Learners sometimes miss that or overdo it, which sounds a bit unnatural.
Ah, so it's that little, like a mini exhale right after the sound. And what about when they're at the end of a word, like stop?
Good point. At the end of words, especially for British English, that aspiration is usually reduced or even absent. So it's stop, not stop her. It's a crisp, often unreleased stop where you just hold the air briefly. Practicing that minimal release, particularly for t and d at the end, is super important. Think bet versus bed. The t in bet is often a clean, sharp stop without much air. It's all about control, really.
Wow, that's a lot of nuance in such a small sound. Definitely something to practice, for that authentic British sound.
So, to quickly recap, we've explored what plosives are, those stop and release sounds, distinguished between voiced and voiceless pairs, and delved into the crucial nuances of their release, especially for that authentic British sound. It's clear there's a lot to consider.
Absolutely, Gems. It's been incredibly insightful, and I think our listeners now have a much clearer understanding of why these seemingly small sounds make such a big difference in pronunciation. It really highlights the depth of English phonetics.
Indeed, and while we've covered a significant ground today, there's always more to explore in the fascinating world of British English phonology. We'll definitely be revisiting articulation, intonation, and other key aspects in future episodes, so stay tuned for that.
We certainly will. For now, though, we want to extend a huge thank you to all our listeners for joining us today. We hope you found this discussion as engaging and informative as we did.
Yes, thank you for listening. We appreciate your continued support, and we look forward to having you back for our next deep dive into the intricacies of language. Goodbye for now.